Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. I'm going to show you this news broadcast, and then I'm going to provide my commentary on the other side.
County. Families of two brothers are now in mourning tonight after the pair was shot while simply checking out a piece of property that they had just bought. Police say they were gunned down by a person they didn't even know, and tonight we're learning more about the man accused of committing the double murder, Rodney Black. Police tape is still hanging in front of this home on Old Crow Road in Barbersville, a reminder to the people here of a very senseless crime.
Absolutely cold-blooded, killed, and it's sick.
Sheriff deputies say this man right here, Rodney Black, shot and killed two brothers, 60-year-old Garrick Hopkins and 61-year-old Carl Hopkins. Black originally said the two were breaking into his shed near his house, but police say that shed does not belong to him. It belonged to one of the victims who recently bought the shed and the neighboring lot. What really has everyone shocked about this is from here to the home to over to the shed, you're looking at about at least 50 yards. And what authorities say is really shocking is that he gave no warning, just simply pulled the trigger.
And if you have concern, you pick up the phone and you call 911 first. You don't shoot and then call.
Regina Lafferty lives right across the street. She stood on her front porch as gunfire rang out and the victims fell to the ground. Her kids passed through this empty lot just a few hours before the shooting.
It's numbing.
Even before this weekend's violence, Lafferty was afraid of her neighbor and told her kids not to go near Black's house.
Seemed a little rude, and just cold, very cold person.
A man described as cold, accused of an even colder crime. Hope he stays in jail.
Forever.
Rodney Black is charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. He is being held in the Western Regional Jail tonight, where he declined my request for an interview.
When I first heard about this story, the first thing that I thought about was, here we go again. Here we go again. Another example of black people being killed by white people for no reason at all. They're basically being killed for the color of their skin. It's as if there's open season on black people. Here you have two brothers. One of them owns the property. So they had every right to be on that property. But because they were black in a white area, the killer assumed that they were criminals. The killer assumed that they didn't belong there. The criminal assumed that they were breaking and entering, when in fact that was their property and they had every right to be there. So this killer took it upon himself to shoot down these two brothers. And basically what you have here is a modern day lynching. And this is just one example of several examples in recent history. You had the Trayvon Martin case, where this brother is walking home from the store, minding his own business, walking in his neighborhood, when this wannabe cop, this punk, this chump, George Zimmerman, decides he's going to hunt him down and kill him. And when he called the police, when he called the 911 number, he said he thinks he's up to no good. He thinks that, that Trayvon Martin was up to no good. And essentially that's what you have in this news story, where this white man basically assumed that these two brothers were up to no good. And then you have the example of Renisha McBride, a woman who was involved in a car accident. She went to someone's house seeking assistance, and instead she got a bullet to the head. And what did the owner say then? He said he thought she was posing a threat. He thought she was trying to break into his house. These people always try to justify their criminality and their violence against black people by saying that we pose a threat, that we're dangerous. And here you have a young woman whose life was snuffed out at the age of 18. And then you had a case of Jordan Davis, This brother is listening to music with his friends in the car. And this white man comes over to him and his friends and tells them to turn down the music. When they don't act fast enough for this white man, he takes out a gun and he open fires into the van, killing Jordan Davis. And what does he use as his excuse to kill this brother? He says that he thought he was reaching for something. He thought that he posed a danger. He thought that he was in danger. These people assume that blackness equals danger. These people assume that blackness equals criminality. Then you had a case of Jonathan Farrell, the young brother who was involved in a car accident in North Carolina. He went to a neighbor's house, one of the neighbor's homes, seeking assistance. And she called the police terrified. She assumed that he was a criminal. She assumed that he was trying to break into her house. So she called the police, trembling in fear and crying. Basically crying to the police. And they come to the scene and they assume that he's a criminal. And one of the police officers shoots that brother 10 times. It's like it's open season on black people nowadays. It's time for us to wake up. It's time to wake up.